All right, what's up, lefties? How are you guys doing? Nice to be back. My name is Michael Harris, joined as always with Lincoln Cook. Lincoln, how you doing, man?
Doing good. It's snow's melting a little bit in Colorado, so I got to throw some discs over this last week.
Nice,
So I'm
nice,
happy. I'm actually in South Carolina right now for work,
perfect,
so that's kind of fun.
good, good.
I would love to play some disc golf down here, but not sure if we're gonna be able to swing that. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. The whole work disc golf relationship doesn't always pan out for us type of folk.
When you have to like get an Uber or a Lyft to a disc golf course from the hotel, and that costs like, like do I really want to spend $60 getting to and from course? And it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, perfect. All right, so we got the normal slate of
What about
topics to
you?
go.
Back in school?
Yeah, yeah. Finished my first full week in the middle of my second week, so it's doing well so far. I'm enjoying it and excited to be back in school. It's fun. It's definitely a lot different than my first go around when you're in school for things that you like, topics you're interested in. It makes it a lot more enjoyable. So,
Well, us lefties are proud of you, man.
yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, so we got our normal slate of topics to go over. We got some player news, our dealer's choice, our in the bag, and then we're gonna wrap it up with our 2 minute drill. So, um, do you have any player news, signings, anything you want to talk about in the disc golf atmosphere?
A couple of thoughts, yeah. I sent a screenshot of this to you earlier this week. Infinite released their signature discs for their lineup. I
Yep.
wanted to talk through the Infinite team to see what you thought about it, because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have some mixed thoughts. So we got Drew Gibson, Eric Oakley. Those are the two big ones. They just signed Maria Oliva. If Dave Feldberg, Zoe Andyke, those two are old.
Hmm.
Dustin Keegan, James Proctor, Erica Stinchcomb, and Grady Chu. Those four are all new Infinite
Yep.
signings this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts to their team?
Um, I, I mean, good for those players. I think I with Drew and Eric, they have their own brand. They are very popular on social media. They have a kind of their following, their fans, and they will be able to attract more disc golfers to throwing different molds, throwing their signature lines whatever company that is through. Um, as far as the new signings, Erica Stinchcomb is a great pickup. I mean, I don't. She was on West Side for a few years, I want to say. Um, and
Yeah, she's there a while.
yeah, the thing with Infant is like to me, there's always an allure to being with them because you could throw whatever you wanted. So if you came from Innova, you could throw those. If you came from Discraft, you could stick with those discs. Like you could stick to what you know, um, but they don't have the same push in marketing from the company that a dynamic Discraft and like a Prodigy can push their players for. It's a lot
Right.
more self going, and you get out as much as you want to put into it. So
Yeah, I agree. It's also interesting that like the when they come from a different manufacturer, I feel like they don't throw much of that in the bag anymore because they don't want to. The only person that did was Drew Gibson with his destroyers.
yeah, yeah,
But I feel like they are like, I want to test everything now. And I
yeah,
haven't seen that like help their game much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And it makes me, do you think they're doing that by like a little bit out of spite? Like, oh, you dropped me. I don't want to continue throwing it just to kind of like prove a point that I don't need your stuff? Or do they actually feel like the new stuff and whatever they can find on their own is improving their game?
I think more of the former. I think they are like, I I've been throwing this forever. I want to. Actually, sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't think it's out of spite,
Yeah.
but I do think it's like I want to change. Like
Yeah.
this is fresh. I want to try something fun,
Hmm.
and in that there's so much for them to be able to test out
Yeah.
that I think there's a lack of stability, not in stability like
In
flight
the plastic.
stability
Yeah.
of a disc,
Yeah.
but as in the consistency in terms of you're throwing, yeah, zones and forces and raptors and buzzes. It's like, well, you could throw a zone, or you could throw an entropy, or you could throw a tactic, or you could throw a Toro.
Yeah.
Like they have to choose between all these different brands, and I feel like it's a little bit of what's the phrasing? Like they're overcomplicating it. It's like
Hmm.
paralysis by analysis almost,
Yeah.
to where I haven't seen too many open bag players really excel on tour.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew is the exception, and granted, of course, he's the best player on the list, but even then, Drew was on like he wasn't consistent last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's finally getting because he signed that deal with EV7, you see him getting more consistent on the putting green. You're not like,
Yeah,
oh, my putting's bad, let me try something else. And oh, something's bad, let me try,
right.
like, you don't have that kind of wishy-washy, is it me or is it the discs? Um, Kind of thoughts going through your head. It's like you have consistency, you stick with it, you grind it out, and you improve with the tools that you have instead of searching for the answer somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
I agree. So, anyways, that was I mean the only real thoughts coming from you and I testing some Infinite discs recently,
Yeah.
and then also my buddy Micah, who's sponsored by Infinite.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm always kind of monitoring them because they have like they're they're a company that will reach out to a local person that's bigger in their scene and
Yeah.
give them like a smaller time sponsorship. So I always kind of keep them on the radar. But yeah, I
Yeah.
was just wondering if you think they're going to actually do anything this year because I'm not confident on it.
No, but I mean, that's the thing is like those players, when they build their own brand, they don't have to be performing at the top of they don't have to make lead cards. They don't have to make
That's true.
like chase cards. They have made their fan base. They've built their fan base on their social media platforms and have that following. And whatever they're going to be throwing, they will bring those people along with them. And I also think being able to, like, with Eric Oakley, like he has that glow zone. It's like a Discraft player is gonna be like, I like a zone. I like Eric Oakley. I'm gonna go throw his zone. Whereas if when he was out on DD and throwing the Justice or with like
Those
the harp or something,
Falcons.
Fallon's harp, it's like someone who's kind of brand loyal to Discraft will be like, I like the Felon, but I'll
I'm
stick
gonna
with
throw the
My
Raptor.
Raptor. Exactly. Yeah. So being able to kind of get one popular mold in as many manufacturers as possible lets you kind of spread your web around.
Yeah. No,
Hmm.
I agree. So
Cool.
that's all I had for news that I wanted to talk about. There's
Yeah.
been lots that's happened, but also none that I think we need to discuss.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Unless you had something else.
Nope. That was all I had. I mean, excited to see the Simon lines coming out with MVP.
Yeah.
I think that
I,
that
I like
glow
that they called
hex.
it his signature line, and
Yeah.
then Simon throws crazy lines, so they're calling it Simon lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. It's
Yeah.
clever.
definitely things are coming together for them. So I'm excited to see what comes out. All right, into dealer's choice. Do you want to lead off, or do you want me to take it away?
Last week I went first, so we're
Okay,
gonna flip it. You're first
cool.
this week.
All right, so we are going to do a little power rankings,
Let's go.
and we are going to rank the disc golf baskets.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I have a list of I think seven, one, two, eight. I have eight baskets. So do you got a pen
So
and paper? You want to write these down, or can you just remember them and I'll just jot it
I
down.
think I can remember most of them.
Okay,
I'm just gonna list the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. And are we going like a specific type of basket from this brand or the brand's basket?
specific type. I mean, we're going the top of the top, like the pro level. Which one you
Right. I
we can go
assume
by.
because like Discraft has their Chain Star
Yeah,
and Neva has their disc catcher. Uh,
yeah,
Dynamic Discs has their veterans
yep,
baskets.
yep. That's on the list.
I don't know what Prodigy's is called.
Yeah, they just online they just called it like the T2 Pro. So
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
Prodigy's.
yep,
And then DGA has like the Mach X, the Mach 5, Mach
yep.
7. Like they have a bunch of different ones, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
just wrote down
I
the
s-
X and the five. Those are the kind of the most popular ones that you see um, around. And then I also just wanted to throw it in the MVP Black Hole.
oh yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
not the portable one, but they're kind of standard in the
Right.
ground. And then I'm pretty sure is the disc golf park baskets are those just in of a disc catcher different color or is it
I don't
slightly
know.
different? Okay, so I just put that on there because I
I
remember
know that
those.
they're just like newer,
Yeah,
and so like anytime you see them, they look clean. But
yeah,
yeah, we can talk about it when we get into our rankings.
yeah, yeah. So, um, do you want me to read them off and we can just kind of talk
Yeah,
about each one and
hit
then just,
hit me your rankings, and I'll tell you where you're wrong.
oh, I don't have a ranking. I don't have rankings.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna full spitfire this and figure it out on our own.
Yeah,
Okay, so starting from the top, I have the Innova disc catcher.
good basket.
Yes.
Just it's like
It,
your it's kind of your standard, you know.
yes. I think so too. I mean, it's in California, it's all they have. So that's what I wouldn't say most comfortable on now, but it's a nice big open gap. I like the big bar on the top. The cage sits nice. Um,
Yeah.
it feels like you can make a lot of putts on that. So yeah,
Only complaint I have with it is that some of them are older.
yeah,
And so like you'll go to a course and there will be like the chains will be kind of like not crusty because like they're not like rusting either,
yeah,
but it's like almost kind of feels that way. Like it's just
yeah,
it's wearing a little
yeah,
bit.
for sure, for sure. Um, do you feel like those are kind of towards the? We'll just kind of group. Is that towards the top or is that like a middle ground because it's kind of the standard?
Well, let's throw that at number one, and then the next
Put
one
something
will
above it.
either
Cool.
bump above or below
Perfect.
and
Perfect. Perfect.
figure it out from there.
Cool. All right. Number two, the Dynamic Discs Veterans Basket.
I love these.
Yeah.
Some people do not, and I understand why they don't love them,
Yep.
but something about like the biggest complaint with these baskets is that sometimes you'll hit the bottom of the cage and bounce out. I've seen that
Yeah.
happen. It's happened to
Yeah.
me before, but there's something about my spin putt when it hits the basket and it drops into the cage and it's still spinning in there. There's something about it that I just love. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Good. Um, they have a little bit of a smaller top band, don't they?
Maybe
Or is,
smaller than Innova, but
yeah.
I would say it's like more standard to compared to others.
Yeah. 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 My only two complaints about the Veterans Basket is the top of it doesn't have that little like flagpole. So I've seen multiple times, like when you get it off the top, you get that little
It skips far.
turbo, yeah, that turbo skip off of it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like when you get it close, you end up farther away for hitting a good shot. And then
Yeah.
my other complaint, which is funny that you said your spin putt sticks. I don't know where I heard this from. I think it was either Zach Melton or Chris Clemens, but he said that the way the chains are aligned and turned, it does not catch lefty putts as well as right-handed putts. But
Interesting.
you're saying you're saying,
They're both push putters though,
yeah,
or more push putters.
yeah. So I mean
They
that,
catch mine just fine though.
yeah, yeah. I don't spin it
Because
harder. I don't throw it hard enough to make a difference, but it's just funny
they're
that,
they use veteran baskets at Prickly Pines, which is my
yep,
favorite course,
yeah,
and I like that they're white and you can see them like very clean, like they're like a strong, vibrant white,
yep.
so you can see it through the trees. Whereas like sometimes like the yellow can
It
get
can
lost
blend
or
in. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure, for
So
sure.
that's another pro to it. I would rank it above Innovas. That's me.
Cool, perfect. I'm fine with that. Next one is the MVP black hole.
I don't have a lot of thoughts on it. It's kind of
Yeah,
just it works. It's good basket. I don't see it a ton though, and
no,
that is probably my only complaint.
yeah, and I think just being like the black colorway, if you're doing rounds kind of close to dusk, dark, or
Sure.
early morning, a little bit harder to see. So
Or even in
rank
the
it
woods with like
in the
shadows
woods.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
shade. Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
below
So
the
we'll
Innova,
put
number
that
three.
three. Yep.
Perfect. Uh, the TGA Mach 5.
Mach 5, put it at the bottom.
That's already number 8. It's going to stay down there.
It yeah, it's just it's old. It's I hit the nubs on it, like the
Yeah.
Mach 5 and the Mach X. I hit the nubs sometimes,
Yeah. Yeah. The
and it
nubbies.
is aggravating to me. I have seen someone hit the nub and have it stick in the nub.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I've seen it live,
you get
like
those cool
in
those pictures where it's like, does this count on your
yeah,
Facebook page? It's like
yeah.
if it's staying there and you put it, yes, yes, it counts.
I mean, if
According to the
it
new
comes to
rules,
rest
but
within the chains or the cage, that was the original rule.
yeah.
But now the adjusted rule, it would count.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's awesome. I I like them. I mean, because I don't putt super hard, I've never had like that big of an issue with them. I think it's more of just a nostalgia thing. It's in Oklahoma. Those are the first
Yeah,
baskets I started
they're in
with.
like all the old like
All
tiny
of the
nine
old
hole
ones. Oh,
courses
yep.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I think I might put it above the black hole one just because I have more familiarity with it.
yep. Yeah.
One complaint though is that I feel like the cage is a little bit smaller.
Does feel smaller. I think it's all through the
So
chain. Like there's just less chains.
I feel
So it
like you'll
like
hit the chains
looks.
and sometimes land on the cage and flop out.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't get that issue with like the veterans baskets.
Yeah. For sure. And then the Mach X.
What's the difference between the 5 and the X? Do you know?
The 5 only has the chains on the like outside and then inside. The X has outside,
Like the
inside, and then
and then the
like
tube down the middle kind of thing?
they have it. Yeah, they have like a crisscross pattern on the middle of the chain. It just adds more chains to the middle.
Gotcha.
People say that it just catches everything. Um,
Oh yeah, I do
so
remember like OG disc golfers saying that.
yeah, it's
Huh.
DGA's best basket, but I feel like I just don't see it often. Yeah, I can't even remember
I
a
see fives more common than
yeah,
X's.
yeah,
Um, the few times I've played on them, I guess they've been fine, but again, they have the nub issue for me
yeah,
that I don't like. Um,
middle of the pack.
they do have the little like on top of the basket, they have like the number, the whole number on
Yeah,
it.
I like those.
And I've seen that like save a lot of people.
Yeah,
So like where you were saying like the veterans baskets punishes
skips.
a good shot, I almost disagree. I've seen, bad shots
Get
get
away with it.
rewarded.
Yeah,
Yeah, like stay close to the basket. So,
yeah, yeah,
pick
yep,
your poison.
exactly. All right, next one is the Discraft Chain Stars.
I like them.
Yeah,
They're kind of like the black holes in terms of just like it's a good standard basket.
yeah,
Um, they're just newer. I've seen them more often, but I think I would put Innova above them.
Yeah, so like number 4 for now.
What's three?
Well, I think 3 is Innova. No, no, no. So number 1 we got veterans, right?
Veterans, two Innova, three Discraft.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's where I'd
yeah,
put it.
yeah. I'm excited because my tournament coming up in Arizona.
Yeah,
I think it's a Memorial. I gotta
yeah.
look at my email.
Those use Chain Stars,
Yep, they use Chain Stars. So they got
which
the
I just played there, and they're good
yeah,
baskets.
three
They're
layer.
red,
Yeah. They
so
got
they you
three
can
layers,
see
two,
them.
three.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
you can see them pretty well.
yeah,
I it's like fine,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'd say they're good. I wouldn't say they're like above
Anything.
anything, but they're kind of like they hit the standard on everything that you need.
Yep, yep. Okay, second to last one, the disc golf park baskets. I think these are just an Innova with a different paint job on them.
And newer,
Newer.
and
Yeah,
they catch as well because they're not like you don't get crusty ones. I put this at number two for my personal
yeah,
list.
that's fine. I like them. I mean the beer garden we played at,
Yep,
it's just it works. And then they
sort
put
of
them
think
in
of,
it.
and they're blue,
Yep.
which you
hmm
think might be kind of difficult,
But it's
but
like a
I
different
feel like
blue.
you can
It's
see
a
it so
different
well.
enough blue that it stands out.
It's like a, it's like not a, it's like a royal blue that's like a vibrant royal blue, but not
Yeah,
like obnoxious.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
It's good. I like them.
They're
And then
they're great.
I haven't been able to play at Expo Park with them, but I need to get out there and play with actual baskets.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah. They put those in a while ago.
Oh no, I did play with them there, and
Yeah.
yeah, they were great.
Yeah. They're fun. All right. And the last one, I kind of saved this one for last because it's the
It's
most unique,
controversial.
most controversial.
Two thumbs
The Prodigy.
down.
Really?
I
Really?
don't like them. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the
Explain.
coolest courses I've ever played is Roy G. Park in Austin, Texas. One of the hardest courses I've ever played. We played the pro tips.
Yeah.
So it's already a tough round, but we were missing putts left and right that were hitting chains and just like bouncing off.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched coverage of the amateur disc golf championships they played the finals there when Kyle Klein was an amateur. He was on the card and he won it actually.
Yeah.
And his whole card, they were missing putts on the baskets.
Was he?
Uh, some, yeah.
Yeah. So that,
I just it's because they just bounce off. I feel like I don't know
yeah.
why, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what I like about it. So here's my unpopular opinion.
okay.
I really like Prodigy baskets. It makes you like if I were to get a practice putting basket, that's the one I would get. You have to hit it with pace. You have to be confident in your stroke. You have to hit it in the right spot. And if you miss your weak side, you're chaining out. If you hit it high and soft in the middle, you're gonna get pushed back. That's just what it like. You have to have a good putt. It's so
It's
many
a
people.
separator.
It is, and it's one of those things where so many people say, "Oh, disc golf putting is too easy." That's because they're using the disc catchers, the veterans bet. Like, if you have a putt that is close to going in, but like a little weak, a little this, you'll actually see it on the Prodigy basket. You won't see it on the other ones.
Yeah.
The other ones are
No,
way more forgiving.
you're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
It's just I putt with pace. You know
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm a strong spin putter. I like I will make 35-foot putts and I'll miss them by 20 feet
Yeah.
because I'm confident I can make the comeback
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But I've hit dead center and have it bounce back at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm putting it with pace.
I know. I know.
Like it literally makes me want to, like if this is the basket, it makes me want to putt like
So
this so it hits
so it
and
dies
drops
in it. Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Ricky would probably have a great round at at Roy
that
G with those baskets.
so that's what
But
I've heard. That's what I have heard from some podcast or somewhere or another. The Prodigy basket was made for Ricky Wysocki when he was on Team Prodigy.
no
That's what it
way,
is. Yeah,
actually,
that's what I heard. That's what I heard. I can't
huh?
say it's true,
Because I could
but
see Paul Macbeth's putt not being as strong on it, but I can see
uh-huh.
Ricky's.
Yeah, yeah,
But I can also see Kevin Jones' putt hitting high right and bouncing off.
yeah, yeah,
And he's
yeah,
Prodigy too. So
yeah. It's just something where
but Gannon Buhr's putt goes a million miles into the basket and it
it's gonna
drops.
it's gonna stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, you're I don't disagree with anything you've said.
yeah,
If I were to build my own course,
that is
actually, you know what?
uh,
I think I'm changing my number one to the disc golf park baskets.
okay. I like it.
Because if I were to build a course today and you ask me what baskets I want the disc golf park baskets.
Yeah, yeah,
Number one. That's what I want. Then I'll take veteran for vets if they're not available. Then new Innova chains, disc catchers, then chain stars,
yeah. That's all you need.
then
That's all you
probably
need.
actually MVPs. I would take MVP over Mach X.
Yeah. Don't like the
And
nose.
then I don't know if I'd take Mach X or Prodigy next. We'll go Mach X and then Prodigy.
Yeah,
Prodigy's number 7 for me.
yeah. Perfect. Good. That's all I got.
Okay,
That's all I got.
that was legit. That was good. Okay, well, hopefully we'll be a little bit quicker with this one. Um, and this is in recent news to Simon's In the Bag,
Yes.
which you watched, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, as someone who threw a lot of MVP and did their full testing, like Hunter from Foundation,
Yeah.
you have more experience with gyro than I do.
A little bit. Yeah.
So my two questions are, one, will the gyro technology make Simon throw even further? And
Okay.
two, what discs from his In the Bag were you just surprised or confused were in his current bag? I mean, I know it'll change, and it's
Yeah.
a pretty rough
Yeah.
like draft of it, but there were discs that confused me, and I'm curious your thoughts.
Yeah. So obviously I watched it once. I haven't like gone back and deep dive into everything and write it down. Um, but I really liked his comparisons to the Discmania discs. Um, I was kind of surprised he liked the Crave as much as he did. I mean,
Yeah,
he said it was his kind of FD replacement, and it's kind of what I use it as, but I would have expected him to be throwing that thing way too hard. But it goes to show you
yeah,
kind of
I would have
how,
expected him to throw something a little more stable than that for
yeah,
his FD.
exactly. But
But
this thing,
I even throw the Crave right now,
yeah,
and it's a FD for me.
yeah,
But
yeah. That's the thing is like it's FD for me, but that's one area with MVP's discs that I think they kind of lack. They kind of go that mid range. They have the Crave and they have a overstable 6.5 speed, which is like
yeah,
it feels like a 7 speed, but slightly smaller diameter. And then they go up to the 8 with the Volt. Um,
yeah, you're right. They don't
like
have like the 7 speed
yeah, yeah,
really narrowed down,
yeah.
or the 10 speed.
No, they just kind of have that 9 and then up to, or they have 8 and then
11 and
kind of just goes up to 11. I feel
8,
like
9, and then 11, but not many 11s
yeah,
because James Conrad just made his Zenith.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know how to pronounce it.
yeah,
That's like
yeah,
his Wraith,
yeah.
like make, and then they have not 12 speeds, they have 13 speeds,
Yes, yeah, and they feel
which
wide. They feel wide, but
it's interesting.
they're not
They do.
like a nuke wide. So I guess wide is not the right term. They're very sharp. So I have an octane. I have a couple octanes, and like they feel sharp. Um, and they're gonna fly so far for him. They're gonna that's one
Yeah,
the what he mentioned, and that's one thing that I've noticed is like the plastics are so consistent that it's very easy to get exactly what you want, how you want it, and the weight you want it. And then they're not going to deviate much after they get worn in because they don't get worn in that much.
yeah.
Obviously, these guys
They
play a
do
lot.
hold their stability
Yeah. They,
longer
yeah.
probably
Yeah. So
than other
I'm
discs.
excited for him to launch some drivers out there. I think he's going to make a different driver in that kind of 12 speed slot. I something we'll see how he gets along
Like
with the
like a
Zenith,
like
but
maybe a PD2 or a
yeah,
DD3.
I think like a PD2 because that's kind of like he's kind of in
So I
that
don't know if they
stage
even have
where
a DD3.
the Octane's close,
It's a
but
13 speed, and it's
I
not as stable as a DD3,
yeah,
right?
um,
At least
not the
that's what
probably not the
Simon
overstable, not the overstable runs. No, no,
said.
yeah, yeah. Um, that's where like
Yeah.
my noodle arm, I'm like I can't throw this thing.
Do you
So
think the gyro will make him throw further? Yeah,
um,
same. Do you think
not
he'll
at
throw further
not
with the gyro?
not at first, no. And probably just not at all. I think it'll help him get more consistent. And I think like I just feel like he's been with Discmania for so long. He has such a good relationship with like how those discs feel, how they fly, the molds. So it's like it'll be really fun to see him experiment with discs. And that's where I what surprised me the
Yeah.
most were his kind of like the slower speeds in his bag, the putters.
Yeah.
One,
He
putting
had a
with the
ton of putters.
putting with the Atom.
And Adam or
Oh no,
Anode?
anode. Yes. So a 2300. Um,
It's like the P1s.
yeah, yeah. So that'd be cool. I have one of those, and it's nice, dead straight. Um, see how it goes. The he was liking the proxy, right?
Yeah. For
Yeah.
the P1Xs that or
Yep.
P1 aces that hold that turnover for him.
Yeah. Um, so kind of cool. And it was very cool to hear him say the Envy was more overstable than he was expecting. I was like, oh, thank God it's not just me. It's not just me using it as my stable approach disc. Um,
Yeah.
but I think that's something he'll be able to work into his bag. But I think with the success of James Conrad throwing it, the holy shot, and all that stuff,
Yeah.
he will probably most likely just kind of lean on that proxy because he's a very touch oriented kind of approach player. He likes those
Yeah. I mean, he's
slow
got
turnovers.
his Sky Gods, which are stable.
Yeah,
And I think that that would be what he'd use
yeah,
his NV for. But
yeah,
you're right. He's leaning on the P1 aces way more than the Sky God lately.
yeah, yeah. And then the fact that he was loving was that the glitch that he said he just like
Yeah.
I was like I would never have any confidence in throwing that in any pressure situation.
Yeah. Which I don't know if he will.
Yeah. But his like his shot creativity is probably one of the highest in the game. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what that disc will allow him to do is just like touch like sky bounce floaters that go under and over a tree somehow at the same time. Like just he'll be fun to watch throwing
Yeah.
a lid like that.
Yeah. Which I just got a glitch
Yeah.
and really fun disc to throw.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for me, it's lightweight. And in Colorado, where everything's stable,
Yep.
is it wasn't understable as in like I wasn't like turning it over,
Yeah.
But like if I threw it harder on a hyzer, it would flip up and just go straight. If I
Yeah.
threw it like with less power on a hyzer, just hold it pretty well.
Yeah.
But it held Annie lines beautifully, and that
Yeah.
was really fun.
I feel like it's a very true neutral flyer.
It's very similar to, it doesn't feel similar to the inner core, but it
Yeah.
flies similar, but I don't trust it as much.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, him throwing all those discs made me want to put a few more into my bag, but I'm definitely glad that I was on the forefront of purchasing some MVP so
Yeah.
that before all the Simon fanatics get their hands on them and make them hard to get. So,
Yeah. I mean, MVP did put out a ton to all their retailers in preparation for this because they knew it was happening.
yeah. Yeah.
So
So,
they were
that'll be
prepped
fun.
more than Discmania has been prepped with other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm excited for that Eclipse Hex with the axolotl
Yeah. Yeah.
stamp. It looks
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't pre-order one, but I'll probably pick one up at some point.
yeah, I went back. I gave my Hex a try. I mean, I've been leaning on my reactor a lot. I like the feel of it. It's just a little bit the reactor's a little bit more flat on top, so it feels super comfortable for forehand and backhand. Um,
Hmm.
but I was throwing the Hex and it's good disc. Just maybe in that Hex plastic will or the Eclipse plastic, it will be that little bit touch more kind of stable finish. Um, like the reactor is like a little bit more reliable
Yeah.
in its flight. So
Well, don't spoil it, but that is a teaser for next week's dealer's choice because I have next
okay,
week's already lined up.
perfect. Perfect.
And you have no idea what it's going to be, but we will talk about that disc.
Good. Good. I'll have to throw it more.
Okay. In the bag. We
Yep.
kind of touched on it a little bit with some of the
Yeah.
MVP that we've been throwing.
Yeah, we're going into
Um,
it.
is there anything in your bag that's new that you've tested out recently or that you're liking right now?
Um, little bit. Um, I decided to go back to the Wardens. Um, I just I have 12 of them. I have a full stack. Every other disc I just have like one or two. So I couldn't quite get that repetition in practice.
Right.
Um, it's just good. It just works. Um, I can leave a stack at my house. I can leave a stack at my in-laws. So I have anywhere I go, I can just get out and get 15, 20
Reps.
foot putts. Yeah, 5, 10 minutes here and there. So
Yeah.
up to the tournament, that's what I'm going to be using. Um, so just get comfortable with those. And then kind of in the spring, summertime is when I can kind of open my bag a little bit and be like, all right, what really works best for my game or am I most comfortable with and what I might want to switch to or just stick with it. So
Yeah.
I'll give you a link a better go. I'll go pick up a XO soft one to just I like soft putters. I don't know if it's just because it's colder. I think just because
Yeah.
colder in Southern
I like it as
California,
well.
but um, it just feels good. You can dig your hand in a little bit more to get that little bit more pop, a little bit more like
You
um,
don't
stick.
it's just more of like you're not as nervous. It's gonna slide out
Yep,
early.
yep, yep, yeah. You can really kind of like pop, get a little pop. Um,
Little pop pop.
yeah. And then I went to a wide open field today, throwing some distance drivers, and I am absolutely loving the Destroyer.
All destroyers or just that G Star one?
I got two. I have two. So this is a factory second I don't know if you can see it, but you've seen it before. It's got nice like
Swirly.
little swirl, green, yellow swirls in there. Um, it just works. I was at a soccer field and there was went across the field from goal to goal was 109 yards, and then there was a tree that was behind it that was measuring 125, and into the wind I was getting close to that 120 125 mark, and it's just like,
Which is like 375.
yeah, and which is pretty much as
Three
max distance as
360
I
to
can get.
375. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was that G Star is definitely, I wouldn't say like touchy, but it's like it's maneuverable. I can
Hmm.
I can hit it hard and flat, and it's gonna get that full flight every time, instead of having to hyzer flip something and get that perfect release angle so that it can pan and then have enough stability to come back. It's like I hit it hard and flat. It has the amount of turn to drift over, but then it will still kind of come back to the end and self correct. So yeah,
Nice.
just, and then I threw it on forehand and got over 100 yards into the headwind
Attaboy.
again. Yeah, so
With the
it,
destroyers.
mm-hmm, yeah,
Nice.
they went furthest backhand and furthest forehand. So
It's
yeah,
good.
yeah, I might just be on the lookout for other destroyers. Get a
Well,
nice,
I sent you a picture of that new super swirly one
yeah,
that I found. I
yeah,
threw that the other day. Stable.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm in Colorado. It's beat up
It's different.
like
It's different,
the
but
edges of it are all beat up like crazy. So I thought
yeah,
it might be a little bit straighter,
yeah,
and it was stable.
yeah,
So that might be
yeah,
a good one for you. I
yeah.
might send you a package here soon. Who
All
knows?
right, yeah. Only if you go to the Charleston store and get me some extra goodies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll
Yeah,
let you know what I find next week.
good, good. Do you have anything new and exciting in your bag?
Um, I will tease a little bit of next week's, hopefully.
Okay.
I got a Lucid Air Escape
Mm.
and a um, VIP Air sword.
Ooh,
Well, I didn't get the sword. I'm borrowing it from a buddy,
yeah. Giving
but
it a go.
I have the Air sword and Air Escape, and I am planning on doing a little bit of field work comparison between the lighter weight and the heavier weight to see, especially for me in Colorado, when obviously
Yeah,
there's lots of wind here, but when there's no wind, to
yeah,
see the comparison between them, if I can get more distance, if they're less stable. I want to
yeah.
test all that.
Cool. Do
So
you know
hopefully I'll be
what are
reporting
those
on that
What
this
are those
week.
weights? Those weights.
Uh, the sword I want to say is 156,
Okay,
and the I'm gonna look because I want to.
that's fine. Yeah, I feel like, and we kind of touched base on this
The
the
escape
other
is
day.
154.
Nice. Um, yeah, I think for people who are just learning or are at altitude, um, getting those lighter weight discs are an easy way to get easy distance, or an
Hmm.
easier way to get easy distance. You're not having to throw them nearly as hard to get those full flex flights. Um, when you get to the more advanced level and you can throw it hard, you can throw it far. Um, I think it's going to be more or less just a different disc for you. Um, but if you're ever in trouble somewhere and you have to do a standstill, patent pending kind of turnover, or just like
Sure.
a where you don't get a full run up into a shot, a lightweight disc allows you to just get it up to speed a lot quicker, a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I would like to try like an air enforcer or an air defender or something
Yeah,
that's
something
like
that's like more stable
yeah, or
than
like even
an air plastic.
like a destroyer in a lighter weight plastic. But I mean that's a little bit different because there's some destroyers that are rollers and there's some that are absolute
Just
tilts.
destroyers are so hit or miss. You never know.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to like these discs.
Because then
But
you're going to be hunting for the specific type or whatever.
yeah, I just have to buy 100 of them. Be like, this one's good, this one's not, this one's good, this one's not. So it's like, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
But
for sure. Um, I will say the reason I decided I want to do this was because I got that glitch and it was 146.
yeah,
And I felt it in my hand and I was like, I feel like I could throw this so easily.
yeah,
Whereas like
it is.
you pick up like my link, I wouldn't want my putting link to be lightweight because I would be so scared of it
Yeah,
lifting in the wind or anything like that.
yeah,
But just holding that thing, I was like, oh, this feels like it'd be really easy to throw. Like, wouldn't take much effort to get it to fly a decent amount. And I
yeah,
never threw it like 100%, but I was getting like 210 to 240 with it
yeah,
on like 75, 80% throws. It
easy. Yeah,
was pretty solid.
yeah,
So it made me think, okay, I'm going to swallow my pride and not own like there are certain people that look for
I
only
only have to
max
have,
weight
yep,
discs,
mm-hmm,
whereas
yeah,
like I like the high 160s. I don't even know
yeah,
why I like the high 160s. I think it's a mental thing because I'm like I can't throw the max weight discs as
yeah.
well,
So
but
this
I don't
should
want to
help me.
throw air plastic, so I'm gonna kind of be in the middle.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna swallow my pride and
give it a
try
go.
to break the stigmatism to say stigmatism, is that right word?
I
Break the
would,
stigma.
yeah, I feel like there's a different word that's like
Not
stereotype. Break the
I'm
stereotype.
not an English
Is
major.
that it?
Break the stereotype. We'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The negative connotation around lightweight discs.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
So we're gonna throw some of them and I'll report back next week.
Good. Noodle arms unite. Okay. Oop,
Lefties. Let's go.
yeah. All right. 2 minute drill. Um, do you got one? Do I got one? What do you want to do?
I sent you a couple videos this week
Mike is
of
putting.
Micah,
Yeah.
our fellow lefty, of a
Mm-hmm.
couple of rounds that he was in the 303 Open Mile High Classic where
Yep.
he's filmed in those rounds to look at his putting style. And our 2 minute drill last week was about putting or finding creative ways to putt inside and stuff,
Yep.
which I didn't get to, so I can't report on that yet.
Mm-hmm.
But curious if you watch those videos and if you have thoughts as to his form compared to yours.
I didn't. Um, kid,
Okay.
school, all that stuff kind of creeps
That's
up
your
on you.
homework for
I
next
know.
week
Yes,
to
it will be.
lay in bed and watch it for a little bit. Like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try
I can
that.
easily do that as long as my wife doesn't get mad.
Okay, so that's your homework for next week.
Cool.
Um, otherwise, we're gonna be better putters. That's what we're gonna be.
Hopefully, one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, especially leading up to the Memorial for you, putting
Yeah,
reps are gonna save you strokes, make or break your round.
a ton, especially on those elevated baskets. I need to go out there and just
Yeah,
put my basket on top of a chair and just do that.
yeah. The elevated baskets I feel like aren't bad until wind picks up
Yes. And then you just got
because
to make
then you
sure.
expose the bottom of the disc,
Yeah. That's where it's
and that's
really
scary.
important. So that's one thing when I started in Oklahoma, like you get it kind of ingrained in your game real quick is leave yourself on the tailwind putts um, as often as you can, even if like when you're doing your layup, do it there. Bail out to the tailwind side.
Know where your miss is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So especially on an elevated basket, you can give it those safe runs when you know it's just gonna drop it down
Drop.
in that tailwind. It's like, all right, just
You can
throw
you
it
can
up.
aim at the bottom of the band
Yeah,
and get that
yeah,
little bit of drop in there.
exactly. You don't even have to throw it hard, just like up, loft it down, and then it'll land 5 feet past or go in the basket. So
Okay, sweet.
cool.
That's a wrap.
Wrap it up. All right. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and we'll see you all next week for another left hand backhand. Appreciate it, guys.
Get it. See ya.